Eden Zero is back for its final chapter. We actually start off with Xiao Ming, who I thought we would never see again after she turned to the moon, but she technically is the narrator, so I guess she has to say goodbye to the audience as well. I'm not entirely sure how much time has passed because Shiki doesn't look like his 3-year-old older self, so I'm going to assume at most it's been a year since they found Mother and the whole thing with Earth happened. He's back living on Grand Bell, tinkering with the machines, even though he has no tech skill. We already know that, so I don't know what he's doing other than wasting his time, unless he learned in the last year. Mile tells him it's time, and they both start to leave before Shiki says goodbye to Pina's body, which he keeps in his workshop. I know she's an android, so technically it'd be the equivalent of putting a broken toy on a shelf, but it is kind of weird because he does consider her like a living friend, so wouldn't that be kind of weird having a corpse just sitting there? Personally, I would find it uncomfortable, but for some reason he's just okay with it, and that's where Pina's been for the last year, I guess. All the androids at Grand Bell are currently lecturing Shiki as he walks through town, saying that he's late, which, yeah, you shouldn't be late for this, because apparently Rebecca has been pregnant and is now currently giving birth. You know, I figured this show would end off with the wedding between Shiki and Rebecca like in Rave Master did, but this actually makes sense for this series because as Rebecca is giving birth, something important happens, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, it makes perfect sense that Ziggy and Witch decided to stay and live on Grand Bell because, one, Witch is Shiki's mother, in a sense. She's the android based off his mother, and Ziggy actually raised him, so it makes sense they would stay on Grand Bell. What surprised me is that sister is there as well instead of going around the universe like she did last time. Either that or she's just here to deliver Rebecca's baby and she'll be leaving afterwards. We go back to planet Norma where Weiss and Herman have decided to start living together and they're tinkering on their machines. I'm assuming they invented some kind of device that allows them to communicate through the time barrier of the planet because they know that Rebecca's about to give birth. Apparently they were invited to go see her when this happens, but they're not concerned. Even though they're far away, they apparently invented a new spaceship that can, I don't know, go hyperdrive. Point is, they apparently can get there pretty quick now, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, Herman is the greatest android mechanic, excluding Ziggy, and Weiss just has ether gear that could just break the rules of technology. Homeroom moved back to Odia. Both her mother, Kiranai, and Valkyrie decided to move with her, apparently, which is nice. I don't really care much about Madame Kiranai. Kind of was okay with that whole story. But anyway, it's not really clear what she's doing, because that whole country is meant to be like a poverty-stricken country, so either they're dealing with that, like Valkyrie was before the whole incident happened, or, I don't know. It's not really explained. They just say goodbye to Madame Kiranai and head off to meet with the rest on Grand Bell. We don't get to see what the rest of them are doing. They just show up on Grand Bell. So Lugna, Keely, Jin, Pocha, and Labelka, you're just there. They all say hi to each other. Apparently it's been a while since they've seen each other. And while Rebecca is currently giving birth, we jump over to, I guess, the astral plane, where Mother's at. And she's with Pina. Pina's surprised because she assumed she was going to be dead, but Mother tells her that because of what she did to save her and turn her back into the earth, she decided to grant her wish. And she tells Pina that Shiki and Rebecca are about to have a daughter, and that she will be reborn as their daughter. Pina then starts to glow, everything starts to fade out, and then we pop over to the birth. Rebecca has successfully given birth to a daughter. Both Rebecca and Shiki are celebrating, and they both decide at that moment, since it's a girl, they're going to name her Pina. But that's when they hear a voice behind them saying, "Don't just give my name away without my consent," and android Pina walks out. Yeah, so when we pop back over to Mother and Pina, Pina actually informs Mother that she doesn't want that. She wants Shiki's daughter to be Shiki's daughter. What she wants is just to be with them, and she's okay with that being an android. So Pina's dream up to this point was to be human, and that's what she's always wanted. But after this long journey, Shiki and them, she's come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter if you're human or android, her master loves her the way she is. Which is sweet, but at the same time, does that mean Mother was the one who, turned her off, a year ago, and then kept her like that until Shiki and Rebecca had a child, so this way that she could do the soul transfer? If Pina was going to choose to be an android at the end, why didn't Mother just ask her, basically before shutting her off and just leaving her as a corpse for a year? Just seems like Mother caused a lot of unnecessary heartbreak at that moment, but either way, everyone's happy and excited that Pina's back. Either way, that's how the story ends. Everyone's off doing their own things. Rebecca and Shiki now have a child, and Pina's back. I've been reading Eden Zero since the first chapter dropped, and while I didn't start doing YouTube videos until much, much later, I did really enjoy this series and enjoy talking about it. So I gotta say, thank you to everyone that watched these videos for your comments, your likes, and everything else. I hope to continue to do more Eden Zero stuff because, well, there are just things I just want to talk about. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see what happens from here. Bye, everybody.